What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Around the League. I'm your host, DTLF, here with my co-host over here to the left.
Your boy Maze.
And
Yes,
I'm Empire
sir.
Jeff. What's going on, Lincoln Nation? What's going on? What's going on?
Welcome, guys. Today, man, you guys know we want to talk today after what happened last night. But before we do, we're making history in the building, man. We got our very first guest, and it had to be a special guest, and it is Nakomi. Welcome to the
Welcome to Around the League, Nakomi.
Thank you.
Up there. Dan froze up there for a second. It looks like he's praying on the screen.
Okay.
He'll be back.
Hey,
There we
man.
go.
Oh, my bad. All right. Yeah, no, it's a pleasure to have you, the first female guest here on Around the League, and
Yes,
and
indeed.
we're gonna get it cracking because you guys know what happened last night, right? But before we get into the topic of subject, this video is sponsored by a couple of sponsorships. But as you guys may or may not know, we also sponsor ourselves here on Around the League, and listen, after last night's win, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta. Listen, we have to celebrate it big time. So for the next 48 hours, we got a special release on shopcourtkings.com. You already know what it is, man. Year 21, LeBron James Slaughterhouse, man. Slaughter gang in the building. Listen,
21.
can you do something for me? Listen, this is exclusive merch for the next 48 hours. And, whenever LeBron goes off, we're going to drop a little heat, man. But it's exclusive. So make sure you cop your merch. Free shipping on everything right now. So again, year 21 Beast. Go ahead and grab it. All right.
Nice.
So now we can talk about it, fam. Now we can talk about it. I know we all biting our tongues here. Last night's game, right? So the Lakers come back down 19 to the Flippers, and we took care of business. Breaking an 11-game win streak on their part, right? So I got to ask you guys, man. After taking care of business, what do the delusional Clipper fans have to look forward to in LA now? And I'm gonna start with the guests, man. Nakomi, take it away.
A highly possible dysfunctional team that's basically lost a lot of their depth, and it's going to be a fight for the ball in the backcourt between Harden and a probably disgruntled Russell Westbrook. Soon to come, loading a lot of antacids for Tyronn Lue as he's trying to figure out life out there in the back room, the back closet that we call the Clipper locker room back there. So that's what I'm expecting. And then the usual ending where PG and Kawhi get hurt and first round exit.
Well, you know what? I think it was a beautiful thing because, now we have all the ammo. I mean, they had the regular season title. We had the postseason title, the one that counts. Now they no longer have that. Jeff, how you think Clipper fans should be feeling today? Like if you're one of the seven, the seven wonders of the idiotic world, how would you feel as a Clipper fan today?
I would love to ask him, but have any of y'all seen anyone? Have you seen him? Have you seen him? Mees, have you seen him? Call me. You seen him?
Not out here.
I haven't seen him, so let's just have a moment. Call your local neighborhood Clipper fan and just check on him. Make sure he's good.
On. You know what I mean?
Make sure he's good. Make sure he's good. If the lights are off, like 6 p.m., it's all dark in the house. Knock on the door. Make sure they're good.
Let me go find a milk carton and see if they faces on.
Steve Ballmer probably got extra people in his basement now tied up. But anyways, outside of that, I really don't know what to expect. If you look at the Clippers before this deal, they had the number 1 defense in the league, number 5 offensive rating in the league, number 1 at 3-point shooting percentage in the league, assists are up, all these things going right for you. And then you got your depth, you got your wings, and the antacid point is true. Tyronn Hill about to get more gray by the day, and it's and he's going to be the fall guy. They're going to blame him for it, and they're going to blame him for it, and poor old Count Westbrook over there is going to get blamed for it too. So has been playing great. So you unlock him, you get him over there, and now you bring in someone that could potentially destroy what you're trying to do with him. And like I said, you got all your wing depth, all your shooting. You get. I don't know why they felt like they had to do it. Like if it was a situation where he was bought out, like pre-rules where they could have signed him. Like if they got him for free, I understand it. I don't understand why they were willing to give up those pieces. And I know they got PJ Tucker back, but PJ Tucker's the same age as Bron. You know what I mean? And if you saw him yesterday, he's more good at guarding referees than guarding players right now, especially after a foul call. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm here for it. That's all I know.
Hey, for real.
It's an exciting time, man, for all 7 of the cardboard cutouts. Mees, talk to me, man. How are we feeling after this? I wouldn't say predictable, but it was bound to happen. The Lakers were bound to go back and take their rightful place at the top. How are you feeling after this victory, man?
First, I want to ask you and the rest of the chat, but does the pillow just pillow that much more pillowy after one of these games, man? I mean,
Yes.
especially after, and I had to delete some of my messages because I done traded probably everybody on the roster from top to bottom after that first half. I done said some ungodly things at the halftime, and then I had to control alt delete and bring it on back and say we back, man, because that first half, bro. That first half, man, I must have sunk so deep down in the couch, man. It was unbearable, man. But for us to fight back and take that over, man, just added a little more fluff to the pillow, man. So, I had to control my tongue, but no, I'm feeling good, man. That finally for me was a character building win. It's one of those wins that can define the season. Hopefully, if we carry the momentum. But as far as the Clippers go, man, I don't even know if they really actually have fans. I just think they have anti-Lakers.
Yep, and Bron fans.
Over there, because with all the winning that's been going on through the Showtime, I don't know how you're born and raised in LA and you're not a part of that. You're like, I'm going for them. I don't know. I feel like you have natural hater energy if that has developed over your life. But no, it was a beautiful win, man. We needed that. And it was a great way to shut us up because, we was ugly on Twitter, man. We was ready to burn some things down if we'd have left with that L, bro.
Yep. Yeah. It felt, it was definitely a tale of two halves. That first half, me personally, if you guys saw me and Jeff on Lakers Kingdom on the PSF app, we was panicking, fam.
Miserable. Hating
we
life.
were talking mad shit. I was cursing players out and everything. But that's, we did mention that if we brought it down to within single digits, this was still a ball game. And the Lakers were never really out of it. Even when they went down 18-19 in the first quarter, that second quarter, I saw a flip switch happen in LeBron James where I was just like, okay, the king is here tonight, right? And talking about that leads us into our next question. And I'm going to start with you, me, since we ended right there. LeBron doing GOAT things right now, man. And again, he's a 21 Savage. When will he decline? And are we looking at the first player to never decline and retire in his prime? Because that's what I'm thinking. How do you feel about that, Mies?
I think that's a cold question, bro. And matter of fact, before we went live, I asked Jeff this question, like, is there anything in sports comparable to what we're seeing with this dude? He's looked more fluid last night than games prior, and then what I remember in the playoffs. And I know he had the foot situation, but this is it's not fair anymore. It's not fair. There's nothing to really describe what happened. His movement is fluid. He's able to get to where he wants on the court. And I don't want to bring up Kobe, nobody, because they age the way they're supposed to age. But you see the slowness of our other greats at this stage. He's like, I don't care. I can get where I want to be. Maybe the stamina for a long period of time isn't there, but the dude is still playing full fourth quarter. So I have no answers, Sway. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what alien, what planet he's from, man. But I'm glad he's on our squad. That's all I can tell you, bro. There's no logic to it anymore.
It's insane. He definitely is the modern day Superman. And as far as your comment on Kobe Bryant, I really don't think it was the age that declined him. I think it was that Achilles injury, fam. So we always got to make sure we put that out there, just because I do believe he would have been one of the greats that still put up big numbers had it not been for those injuries towards the end. Jeff, talk to me, fam. And great take, me. Great take. Talk to me. LeBron James, will he ever decline, or is he Superman?
You know what? As far as him declining, as far as when he can impact the game, that's just going to depend like how long he plays. I think LeBron has started to decline, but what I'm saying is he's able to turn it up in moments. So he's not declining in the moments, and he's not declining in his moments to still dominate. Now I'm looking at right now, his career average is 27.2, and he's at 24.6 this year. He's only about 2.5 points off his career average. So it's like, as far as his decline, like I said, a man is 38 years old. He's definitely not like Miami Bron anymore, but he's gotten smarter in what he is doing. You know me, Dan, I start flipping out when he starts shooting those threes. That's the true sign to me of him, like when he's going to be in his decline and when he's not trying to go to the cup and he's not trying to get to his spots. The last couple of games, he's like, no, forget that. I'm getting to my spots. I'm getting to where I need to go. And to start this season, I was starting to think, okay, maybe he's really starting to decline. And then the last couple games, I was like, starting with that like Sacramento game, I was like, man, okay, shut up, Jeff, because he's turned it up. Like I said, when you look at his career averages and you look at his numbers this year and what's supposed to be a more declined, maybe not performance, but declined role, trying to hand it to Anthony Davis, trying to limit his minutes, a rough schedule out the gate, back to back in the first couple games, and it's just like, man, like he's shooting like. His field goal percentage for this year, effective field goal, 62.9, almost 63%. That is 8 points higher than his career average. His assists are up. Like he's shooting. I mean, LeBron had a worse 3-point percentage than Westbrook last year. All right. And he's up. I think he's up to about 35% this year. So I don't love him shooting threes, but he's starting to make them a little bit, which kind of worries me. But as far as when he declined, Dan, I think LeBron could play. I think LeBron could hit that Brady number and still help a team. I think he can play till 45. If he switches to like full power forward in the Karl Malone post, like I think he could play to 45. Now injuries, family. I mean, who knows? I mean, the guy maybe he does want that family time, but I think he could play till he's 45 years old. And as far as his the prime or where he's at, being able to, I give him probably 2 or 3 more years if he wanted to. Of this level of play.
Think about what we just said. We compared him to Tom Brady. This is a completely different sport because football, they take breaks in between plays. And they don't have to play defense. LeBron is out here doing everything. Did y'all see that Westbrook block? And then he caught a Westbrook body at the end to seal the game with that Austin Reeves block. Bruh, okay, look. I'll let you go first, because I got a lot to say. I'll let you go first. Don thinks he's an honorary Clutch member.
Yeah.
Tell me, talk to us.
I appreciate you, Don, for giving us the inside scoop of Clutches and how they feel about him. I appreciate that.
That's
right. Will he decline? I think the main reason why they're actually also looking for another ball handler, or is the ball handler that they could rely on, is because they want to, or at least he definitely wants to extend his career as long as possible, with those less miles on those tires, basically. Brady is the only. I'm here sitting and I'm trying to think of sport by sport who actually played that long. I can't think of anybody but Brady. And personally, I feel like actually that Bron has far more left in the tank than Brady ever had. At that late stage in his life. I mean, like Jeff just said, I mean, he's beating the odds as far as even his field goal percentage. He could pick his shots. He has so much more, the depth on the team, and all those kids besides AD. All he's waiting for is, I mean, honestly, I'm here looking in my crystal ball, seeing Jalen Hood-Schifino and Christie out there basically with Bron at age 45, and all Bron got to do is just take it to the hole every once in a while and show him how he got the best English in the business. I mean, it's all day. So I mean, and the Lakers aren't going to run him off nowhere. They're gonna they already have a artist picking out his statue pose right now. So as far as we're concerned as Laker fans, he can be here as long as he wants to. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I don't think that he's going to be playing into his 50s with a walker on the court. I really feel like I'd
love to see that.
Sooner or later, he will decline, and it will be all about mental. I think that Bron goes as far as his brain takes him and as far as his will takes him. And I feel like he physically can do it for another easily 5 years. I mean, and when I say that, I'm just saying that I'm not saying that he's going to be dropping 30 unless he wants to, but at the same time, he can contribute at least, in some kind of capacity, at least for the next 4 or 5 years. And maybe he's holding out to his son. His son might have an extra year added on to his time at USC. I don't know about Bryce. I think that's a little bit of a stretch there. That's easily 5 years, or way more than that for Bryce, because Bryce is only a sophomore now.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So that's pie in the sky. But at the same time, I feel like as long as he feels like there is a goal to be reached, I feel like he could shoot for it. And I feel like if he's on a team like the Lakers, and the Lakers retooled and restacked that team and is willing to restructure, I mean, hell, Rob Pelinka is bringing a brand new team every single year. That's like, let's see how we're gonna do it this year. And they will roll it back, and they ran it back this year. I think they found some good chemistry. So I feel personally, I don't mean to take up too much time. I feel like it's going to be as long as his brain, as far as his brain takes him, pretty much.
No, that's
You know
a
what I
great
mean?
take. That's a great take, Nakomi. She's preaching to the choir. And shout out to Chris for lending us a spot today because we got a great one in the building with Nakomi. Shout out to Best of Seven Sports Talk as well, man. Go check out his podcast. Go check out his YouTube channel, man. He's over there on the Players. What is it called? The Players?
Players Choice.
Players Choice. There you go. I was gonna say Players Club. I kept thinking Warren G. Nate Dogg. But yeah, absolutely. Best of Seven. Thank you, bro. We appreciate the love. My take on the whole situation is exactly what you guys said, and I'm just gonna add a little bit to it. Like Nakomi said, he can play as long as he wants. I'm gonna give him this. He's the most intelligent player we've ever seen because of the way he takes care of his body and because he's built for this, right? So even as he declines, his IQ inclines. So he continues to raise his game because he's super intelligent. And like Nakomi touched on it and Jeff touched on it and Mies, he's utilizing the tools at his disposal to extend his career. That's why more ball handlers, more this, more that, and then he can get to spots. And even the three-point shooting, I think it's a sign of, like Jeff said, him declining. However, if he's knocking him down at a high percentage, ain't nobody give a damn. He can shoot as many as he wants, right? But the problem here is, to me, is that not even a problem. The beautiful thing is that the Lakers, he found the pot of gold with the Lakers. The Lakers are a star-driven town, and we're willing to do anything, including trading our future, in order to set you up for championship runs. So as long as he wants to keep competing, he's gonna keep playing basketball. And and again, major tribute to LeBron James, because we've never seen nobody just destroy for this amount of time, this much domination. And again, just a friendly reminder to those of you that weren't here early, we just dropped the year 21 slaughter LeBron James, season 21 t-shirts, man. These are fire. Go cop them. They're available for the next 48 hours only. Anytime LeBron goes off, they will, they will go back on sale. So these are going off like hotcakes. We already got a sell already. So definitely tap in there. Now, let's transition over to this question because this is more Laker related. We know LeBron doing his thing and everything. But the Lakers got their third win to improve to 3-2 last night. We didn't see 500 ball till around the trade deadline last season. So we're already way ahead of the curve. Now, the question is, how much better are the Lakers this season than last season at this stage, right? And I'm going to start with Jeff. How are you feeling about the Lakers around the same time period this season last year? How much have we improved? So
we're
comparing the timelines.
You take a coin, right? And on one side is heads, and one side is tails. Last year was tails, this year is heads. It's complete other side of the coin, all right? So the way that the Lakers are able to just finish games, just think about it. Even in the games we lost, right? Look at that Denver game. They battled, they came back, they had chances, right? That team would have lost by 25 points last year, okay? In game 2, they're down 12, home opener. Things could easily fall apart. They got it together. Braun went ballistic in the fourth. They beat Phoenix at home, okay? Then they go up to Sacramento. They're getting waxed. They got all kinds of problems. No Seawood in the second half. Ruby hurts his eye. Darvin Ham is going through it. They're struggling. They make a comeback. They force overtime. They had the lead in that game, and then they lost it, right? But they came back. This team has fight. And then last night's game, down 19 to a team that has beaten you 11 times in a row, that had to set into their mind. Kawhi's up there dropping a career high in the first quarter, 18 points more than he's ever scored in the first quarter in his life, right? You got Paul George, hadn't even gotten going yet. You knew he was going to slay. You got Westbrook out there screaming after an and one, talk about how locked in he is. Like they were just ready to celebrate at halftime like they got this win. The Lakers rallied. Not only did they come back, they took the Clippers' second and third punch, rallied again, and got the win. So this team could not have done that early on last year. So they're completely heads and tails over last year, completely different team. The best part about it is they're going to continue to get better. I love that they're 3-0 at home. They're protecting home court. No lead is safe against them there. They're coming back on all of them. They're 0-2 on the road, though. They've got to figure out finishing games on the road. As soon as this team really wants to be better than last year, finish these games on the road, win majority on this upcoming road trip, and then we'll really be able to see where this team is at. But they are absolutely better than last year. It's not even remotely close to the same. They're even better than the team that rallied after the trade deadline last year. So they're much better this year. They just need their guys back. They had 4 of their top 5 defenders out last night, and still came back and got the dub. And Austin Reeves, he's back out the grave, man. He's alive again.
AR, baby. That's what I'm talking about. AR, Austin, baby. He's coming back. Hey, listen, by the way, you're right, Jeff. We are better this year. And to add to what you just said right now, we're going to get better because we're missing 4 key pieces to the rotation. My goodness. And that's what made last night's win even that much more impressive. Mies, talk to me, bro. How you feeling? How much more improved are we around this time last year, this year, right?
Oh, I think like Jeff say, it's a complete flip, man. As far as talent on the roster, man, it was so much lacking last year before the deadline, man. And just to mention that, I'm starting to get in the sweats thinking of Russell, Schroeder, and Pat Bev closing games, man. I still got the little twitches just thinking about them and a heavy 3-point. Oh God, I don't even bring that up, man. We are so vastly different. And as just pointed out, even so much more so from the trade deadline from that roster, we're just more solidified. The size, Christian Wood, man, and once if I can get on you, I can pump you, man. My man came through, and I may do a separate video on there. He said, not one, not two, but I'm putting three bigs on your head. On your head. And I was out in public with some folks, but I had to give your boy the flex, man. When you come
and
through,
they can all shoot at the very least. They can all shoot, which
man.
is completely different from Russ, D'Lo, Russ, Shooter, and Pat Bev. At least all three of those bigs, I trust them to take a shot more than I trusted those little ones.
Facts.
That's crazy.
Like those itty bitties.
Hey, like I said, if I get on my man's head, I'm gonna get on my man when he comes through. And my man came through. He adjusted, put them big boys out there, man. So yeah, hopefully this is a sign of continued growth from my man. I would prefer not to do any more freaking Brother Darvingham videos. I would love not.
Hey man, but we love those videos, man. So you gotta keep dropping them. Listen, even if he does good, you gotta give him a positive Brother.
That's right. Video, I gotta give it to him, man.
Yep.
Facts, bro.
Absolutely.
Facts.
We love those videos, fam. If y'all haven't checked out my boy Mees the GM, go check him out, man. Listen, rocking with Mees is absolutely a sight to behold, man. This guy has this brother has all the personality. Go check him out, show some love. He's close to 250. Remember when we said about the 250 subs? So go sub to him right now. All right, Nakomi. At this time last year, we was crying tears, like pain. I think we hadn't won a game. Didn't we start 0-4 or something like that around this time last year? So
I think it was.
Yeah, we were crying. How much better are we this year? We are already a 500 team right now as we speak, and we got Orlando coming up on Saturday. How much better are we?
I think that we are beyond. We're at least 200% better. From top to bottom, our roster makes sense. We actually have shooting to go with our inside game. We have depth at the center position. We got wings, as everybody in all of Lakerland have all been preaching. We need wings, and we don't have an overabundance of guards. We have just enough guards to basically hold us over, even though Bron is still going to basically be the de facto point guard. But now we have Reeves, who he completely trusts implicitly. He completely trusts with the ball in the late time of the games to go ahead and take it over. And he just wants to sit out back and just catch balls and just give highlights all day long. I mean, at the very least, at the beginning of last season, where we were mentally on that team was, all right, guys, we just need to be patient. That's what all of them said in every single one of those interviews. We just need to be patient. We're still putting the team together. We still got to learn each other and get chemistry and all that stuff right there. And that completely showed through the whole entire season until the trade deadline, where they just didn't know where they were. And at the very least, whatever chemistry they had wasn't any kind of real chemistry that showed and reflected on the basketball court. This year, the difference is because of the change that we made and the success that we had afterwards. The expectation is a lot higher from top to bottom. Even the rookies know that basically if y'all come in, don't mess up, because you're not going to see the court again. You got to come out here. You got to defend. Forget all the threes. Don't chuck. Don't be no ball chuck. Come out here, defend, or you're going to see the bench. And the expectation of winning is from day one. Before day one, from media day, the expectation is championship or bust. I mean, they got that close. They tasted a little bit of it. The young guys tasted a little bit of it, and I think that they all here for demon time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we're still getting off to a slow start, as that's something that we had to deal with last year. But I think that this year we have the fight in us and the dog in us to basically come from behind, and don't let us be close, or else we're going to come through and Bron is going to put the cherry on top.
Absolutely. And I love the energy this team is coming out with. Like one of my favorite things is the support that the teammates have shown for Austin Reeves. Like we see the post game, the way they're hyping him up. They're like, bring us home, Austin. Austin was a closer for his last season, and even his rookie season, he had a couple game-winning buckets. This year, he's going to be the same. It's just all about him getting his legs back under him and getting his confidence back. And I got to give major credit to D'Lo, man, because D'Lo has been hyping this man up. And one thing I think we don't talk enough about D'Lo is consistency. He's averaging 19 points. We're going to talk about him later on the show. He's killing it, but the way he just hypes teammates up. I think what happened to him with obviously with the Nick Young situation was one of the best things to happen in his career, because that young man matured like never before.
Yes,
and he really took it to another level. And like I always told people, even when it happened back then, everybody makes mistakes. That don't mean that you're a bad person or anything, It just means that we got some growing to do. And boy, am I so proud of his maturity. Like, I love this young brother, man. He really has matured and taken his maturity to the next level, where he's encouraging and embracing teammates, and people love to have him in the locker room. So we went from, will the real Russell stand up, please? The real one, the good teammate. Love it. We went from a vampire to a heaven sent angel. All right.
Real quick, Dan, before you go on, I really feel to be like from last year, especially till into this year, I really feel like D'Lo is like that Dunleavy, not Dunleavy. What's the dude's name that we had on the team? He pretty much just came off the bench. He's an assistant coach now with Dallas. I can't remember his name. God. Dudley. He's that glue guy.
Dudley.
He's our locker room guy. He basically is. He relates to everybody. He has his own temperament. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. He doesn't get exacerbated over little stuff. You know what I mean? And he's bringing the young guys up. He's supporting Reeves, who they know. He knows that Reeves is the guy, but he doesn't feel threatened by that. And that's the kind of guy we need in the locker room. We don't need all the other stuff and people like Pat Bev, who think that he's the next coming of whoever, but he's just another biscuit on the pile. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I really feel like D'Lo is great, and we'll come back and talk about him even more. Because I'm sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, you're good. Awesome. Vincent, I think this is on your channel, Jeff. You want to go ahead and read it off?
Yeah, thank you, Vincent. Greatly appreciate you, brother. Shout out to you. I'm concerned Ham was forced to play bigs because the guards and wings were injured. And I mean, they were injured, but with with situations like that comes opportunities for other. Me, Dan, Nakomi, Mees, and pretty much everyone was just praying to see what Max Christie's development has looked like. So there might be a silver lining in that, where he was taken, these guys were out of the lineup. And here's the thing, if Vando's healthy, we probably don't see a minute of Cam Reddish for months. So, and I've been saying, like, I don't think he was going to play, but I didn't anticipate Vando being hurt. I didn't anticipate Rui being hurt. Didn't expect any of this. And I expected Max Christie to get minutes. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise because now we're even deeper than we thought. So that everyone was kind of thinking, I know everyone knew the name Cam Reddish and was kind of throwing it in there as just like an enigma here. We didn't know what we were going to get. But even if that guy doesn't make a single shot, he's proven that he can get out there and help guard these wings. And so we didn't know we had that because Cam is not known as a defender, but now he is. So shout out to, like I said, these injuries could be a blessing in disguise. And sometimes things like this happen and a diamond in the rough comes up. And in this case, it's Cam. And all those other guys getting hurt finally got Christie some minutes, and it led to that 3-guard lineup with Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood, and Anthony Davis. So things happen for a reason sometimes. But shout out to you for the super chat. Appreciate you.
Absolute facts. Hey, if I could jump in there, shout out to you, Vincent. But trust, that's why your boy always keeps his eye on you. Trust and believe, man. I'm gonna keep the foot on him, man, just in case.
Absolutely. Hey, you got to stay on top of things, man.
I agree, Jeff. Honestly, I feel like the best thing that happened last night was the fact that that Darvin Ham had less things to choose from. It's like a kid with a whole bunch of food on their plate, and they feel so overwhelmed they don't want to eat. When you basically simplify it and just put some meat, some vegetables, and some rice on a plate, they know what the deal is. You're gonna go in there, you're gonna eat. You know what I mean? So plain and simple, I feel like due to the fact that they took away some of those choices out of Darvin's bag, Darvin said, "All right, go ahead up in there, bro." Hockey substitution, yo. All of y'all get out. All y'all go ahead and do that. I really feel that it forced Darvin Ham to try and think outside the box. And now that he sees that it actually could work, I hope he truly buys into AD and Wood. That right there, dominant. I love seeing that on the floor every single game. I love to see
Absolutely.
that.
And, you know, like Jeff said, my favorite thing is we discovered another diamond in the rough. We always knew Cam Reddish had potential, but we was thinking offensively. Boy, that 6'8", you know, with 7'1" wingspan. Whoo, he was clamping up the Kawhi, man. Listen, he put the claws on Kawhi, dare I say, you know, and even Paul George. Paul George, you know, he became way off P for a couple of minutes whenever Cam was on him. Even that steal that led to a transition bucket by D'Lo. I mean, I was in heaven watching Cam Reddish just lock up, and I didn't know he had that in him. I've been watching him since Duke, and this comparison was always, ironically, Paul George coming out of college. Well, he was playing more like Kawhi last night defensively because, oh, man, if we can get another wing defender, can you guys imagine how lethal we're going to be when Vando comes back? Well, a Taurean Prince?
It's going to be night-night.
Woo!
It's gonna be night.
Not to mention AD, your best defender, and then LeBron and Spurs locking up. Austin Reeves taking charges. I mean, my God, it's gonna be defensive heaven when it all comes together. So yeah, we knew we had a very deep team, but I think last night we really got to see our depth flex really nicely, and that was fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch, man. Fire chat, fire emojis in the chat if y'all had a blast watching that game last night, man. I need to feel y'all, man. All right, let's switch gears a little bit, LeVar Ball style, because I got to tell y'all, man, this is around the league, right? So we got to talk other teams. As much as we want to stick on the subject and we love our Lakers, James Harden, we got to talk about him. All right, now, James Harden just recently said in an interview that he's not a system player, all right, that he's the system. How scared should the Clippers organization be after hearing these very predictable words come from James Harden's mouth? And I'm going to start with our guest, Nakomi. Go ahead. Take it away.
I feel like Steve Ballmer need to go ahead and update their health benefits, because a lot of people are going to need some mental, some mental assistance afterwards, because he has not met a franchise that he has not wanted to crash. I mean, the fact that it's your first day, bro. You couldn't come in and say the stuff that basically you're supposed to say. It's the simple stuff. It's not even like we're asking, like people are asking him to, to completely, be like, oh, well, I'll defer to everybody and I'll just be the fourth choice. No, just say the stuff that you're supposed to say. You've never been on an interview before in your life? Probably not. But at the same time, just say, well, I'm just here to be, part of the team and help out in any way I can. No, he couldn't even help himself besides to put himself right back in the same spot where he's in, where he thinks that he's bigger than the team. He basically said that. That's basically, to me, exactly what he said. So good luck with y'all, and y'all can keep that over there, and I hope y'all take that over to Inglewood. I've never been to California. One day I hope to come, but by the time I come, I hope that they have moved out of the building.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, they'll be gone by next year, I believe, right?
Yeah, they're gone.
I was telling Jeff this was the cleansing. We was flushing the toilet in this game. Talk to us, Mies. How are you feeling about James Harden's latest, revelation?
Man, when I heard that, man, all I could say is, man, Clipper Darrell turning over in his grave here in this man. Oh man, this is not how you walk into the building, man. This is not how you introduce yourself after all the drama that's going on. Your name being dragged in the media. You want to come, as Naomi said, as gracious as can be. I'm here to do whatever, even if you don't believe it. I'm here to do whatever. I'm here to play for the team. You could, even though when I touch the rock, it's a wrap. You don't walk in people's house like that, man. That's not how you come in the game. And they even had a clip showing how the energy was when he was in the locker room. Cats know the energy is gonna be, especially Russ. Russ know most likely I'm gone or I moved to the bench. He not feeling that. And James talking about Russ is one of the reasons he wanted to come. Russ was like, well, look, don't do me no favors, man. Please. No,
man. That's for me.
That's not how you walk in people's house, man. I don't respect that, man. I don't respect that at all.
Yes, absolutely, man. I 110% agree. It's going to be entertaining for us Laker fans. Like all LA fans. It's going to be entertaining because I can't wait to see, Steve Ballmer with his antics. You know how he likes to grab his feet, he does all these weird gift-worthy
people leg.
Yep. Listen, I need to know what he's having. That man is more animated. He's more animated than the cheerleaders. That's a problem, man. But all right. Got to ask you the same question, Jeff. James Harden announcing himself, he wants the red carpet rolled out for him. Okay, how you feeling about that?
This is James Harden doing James Harden things. Something's wrong when Russell Westbrook gives a better interview on that and lays it out better than then Russ talked about it perfectly. And like me said, the guy that he's probably coming for his job, and Russ basically said, like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. He goes, it's a process. We'll see. There'll be good times. There'll be bad times. We have to figure things out. But he said, I don't know. I have no idea what that means. And he was honest about it. You know what I mean? Straight up. So again, it comes back to my point. I would never, like, James Harden on your team. Like I said, he is just filleted so many franchises. And what he did to Daryl Morey was that's probably his best friend on the executive level in the NBA. Probably closer than he was with Pelinka. That guy was basically his agent while running a franchise. So it's like the fact that he would do that to him and then, just bash him. Don't think that was like unscripted, going to China to bash Daryl Morey. Like, just look up Daryl Morey in China, and then you'll see why that was so like scumbag of what he did. And then the thing in the club with the sign, the same thing. Like I get it. Like, even if that man did lie to you, which I don't think he did lie to him. I think he just told him, hold on, and didn't get what he wanted right away. He's got to do what's best for that franchise first. So if he'll do that to him, like, what do you think he's gonna do to Chuck the Condor? What do you think he's gonna do? like the clip, like Clipper Dale and Clipper Dale, pay me my money, man. Pay me my money. But but outside of that, I know you got to pay your lawyers first, and you probably got to pay for a new grill. But pay me my money. But outside of that, like I don't know. Again, I don't know why the Clippers felt like they needed him to the point where they gave up assets and future trade assets. And okay, so he's like, shit, cool. You want us to get involved? Talking about pay me. OKC is just sitting back like stupid. I'll be the smart one in this triangle here and collect something for free. So him up there saying that he's a system player, like that just makes no sense, like, at all, when you're coming into a team that already has three guys. That and again, shout out to Russ, man. Like he has actually done everything. Now look, he'll miss shots. He'll still do this, that, and the third. But he's been a good citizen over there. He's been a good teammate over there for everything that we could see. So for them to kind of, I get it, and it may blow up on his part too. But what I'm saying, though, at least he went in there and he's doing everything that he said he would do and everything that they asked. Then they go and do this. So I'm very interested to see, like, when Harden comes out the locker room with 2 holes in his neck, then the vampire showed up in that locker room too.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not impressed by Russ because I feel like there's no pressure there for him, right? He's on a franchise that ain't never won anything before. So he's happy because he's getting his stats. It's when he actually starts sacrificing those stats, that is when I'll be impressed. If he really takes a backseat and lets Harden handle the ball and he starts averaging 8 points and 7 assists and he's happy and he's not talking in third person like he did with us, then I'll give him major credit. If he's not saying that Russ played like Russ wants to. Listen, and this leads into the next question right off the bat, because Westbrook was seen across the court when LeBron was dapping up the Clippers to start the game, right? It's so obvious. It's so clear that he despises LeBron, who, by the way, once upon a time they were friends, right? Now, I got to ask, like, what in the hell did LeBron do to him to warrant that type of reaction? He don't even want to look his way. If you didn't see that video, go check it out, fam. And let's start with Mees, bro. What did LeBron do other than get him to LA out of Washington? That's a favor, fam. I don't know. What did he do, man?
I mean, it's hard going from that limelight to the basement. He can talk like he proud to be on the Clippers, but we all know that's the stepbrother. That's, what I mean. And so he gonna feel some kind of way. He may, as all teammates of LeBron have felt before, whether directly or indirectly, felt like he is the reason I'm being traded, because whether he said so or management went to him, they always gonna feel some kind of way being moved. Because it's LeBron's team, whether LeBron's like, I ain't even know, they don't care. So they gonna feel that shade to him to the end of time when they get moved, especially when you get moved to the locker room across the hall that don't have no fully functioning lights and electricity and all that. He gonna feel some kind of way. So I definitely expect that.
So what you're saying is you feel like Russ feels like LeBron traded him? That's what you think? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he and being a competitor, he always gonna side eye LeBron that I'm over here on the stepbrother team, and now y'all about to run off and win a title. He's a competitor. He gonna have his lip up a little bit.
I've seen him try to injure folks when they were in overtime and they was down already. He was trying to rip people's arms off. I was like, there. I was like, there's the vampire. There he goes.
Remember the bowling ball scene? Remember that when we saw him, he hit the guy at the top, then hit the guy in the middle, and you're like, Westbrook's going crazy. What is he doing? He looks like a pit bull that got let off the leash.
I'm like, if he's not drug tested the next morning, I don't know what to tell you. We was in overtime. He had more energy than everybody, man. Nakomi, what do you feel that LeBron did to Russ? And is he warranted in feeling this way? Or do you like kind of feel bad for him, or is he just out of his mind? Like, how are you feeling?
Regarding Russ, I kind of do feel bad for him on some levels, because I did respect him, especially being a Kobe acolyte. I really did. He had that same type of drive that Kobe had, but he didn't have the talent to go with it. So he did what he could with what he had, and he did great things. He has an MVP. He was on a team that went to the finals. They've been to the playoffs before. So he has been the man on a lot of teams. At the same time, it's a whole nother world when you're on a team with Jordan or Kobe or LeBron, where championships is all that matters. And you could waste one of my years, but I'm not going to let you waste two. But I'm not going to say that Bron specifically asked for them to trade Russ. I think that they could have come to that conclusion themselves with the fact that Russ was basically taking up the salary of three people. I think that's where it all came down to, and where, to me, I think Russ takes a little bit too much of the blame, or at least people who are, fair weather basketball fans who just didn't realize that it's more so the fact that he just didn't fit and he was taking up too much salary, and they needed more people to basically come in and do the things that he couldn't do. So he was basically kind of blocking the team that way, and immediately we trade him out, get three people, and we're in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I feel like I think that he definitely ended up on a good team for him, because the Clippers have no expectations. I mean, they could say they have expectations all they want to, but they really don't have any expectations. And that's why, honestly, I feel like Harden's on a good team for them, because Harden doesn't really like to have expectations. He falls and crumbles under expectations every single year. So why the Clippers sent out three good players that they needed and 5 draft picks, I don't know. They must have thought that they were getting, Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert or somebody basically who was at least what, 5 years younger than Harden. I mean, so I just don't exactly understand the math. But funny enough, I kind of feel like the Clippers kind of sound like we did for the past 2 years, where, we just got to give it time and see how it works. We're not exactly sure, where they seem aimlessly wandering around when they were supposed to be the best thing in the NBA for the past 4 years. And let's see how they like walking around in the desert for a while.
Ooh, you preaching, Nakomi. You are preaching.
Hold on, let me get one
time. Yeah, she came in here with an A game, fam. Okay. Listen, I agree with everything you just said. Now I will say this: I do believe Russ' bad attitude did have something to do with it, because he was toxic as far as the interviews go. Like, even the media didn't like him. So when the Lakers we operate like a family. If you mistreat anybody in our family wrong, we're gonna get rid of your ass. So even Mike Trudell was catching some heat from Russ, and I'm like, nobody talks to Mike Trudell like that. What the fuck is going on? Like, he's the nicest guy ever. So that's what I think it was a culmination of everything you just said, Nakomi, plus his poor attitude. And those interviews weren't doing him no favors. Him talking about championships, I don't got to prove to nobody nothing. Like, I got my car dealership, I do a lot for the community. Like, bro, Laker fans don't give a fuck what you do for the community. Like, that's great and all off the court, but we want to know what you want to do on the court for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, beautiful, beautiful family. He, all this great stuff going from off the court, but we care about what you do for us on the court. And I felt like he came here and he thought he had a lifetime achievement award, and we're just supposed to bow down based on his triple-double championships and all this stuff. And that was just not the case. Jeff, close it out, man, and tell us exactly, why you think Russell Westbrook has a vendetta against LeBron James.
I think it was a lot of things combined in what Nakomi and Mies both said. And for one, I don't necessarily think LeBron was like, well, yes and no. Like, I don't think LeBron was really out there saying, get rid of him now, get rid of him now. Like, he was probably, if the team came to him and said, do you mind if we trade him? He's probably no. Until Kyrie became available. And then once Kyrie became available, LeBron absolutely was, get this MF out of here now and go get Kyrie. And if not for the Brooklyn Nets being spiteful, he probably would have ended up here. But outside of that, I will say that Russ does have a little leg to stand on, though, because that vampire comment came from LeBron to McMenamin and leaked publicly. So I think that
that's breaking news right here, man.
If they didn't let that fly like that, if they didn't do that on national television just to try to lower the blow of Ron getting Blade for trading him, then I think Russ would have had a little bit and a little more on that. AD didn't like that too much either. So like a lot of the Laker players didn't like that comment said on national TV. So with that being done, so just do yourselves a favor, and when you go back and you go back and watch the final few possessions of the game where Bron broke the scoring record, and that's all I'm gonna say. Just go back and watch the last couple possessions and just look at the anger in Russ and what he was doing in that game towards the end. He knew he was gone. He knew he was gone. He knew what was happening. He knew what was coming, and he was out there just like you could see it. You could see it. So like this had already blown up. This boiled over in New Orleans a couple of games before the trade deadline. So like the blood in the locker room thing was a real thing. It wasn't just a metaphor. And like I said, they didn't have to put that out there. They did. And that's a lot to do with it. So that's pretty much what it was. But outside of that, Nakomi's best part about it was when she mentioned, and she's spot on with this, it's about you're taking up 3 people's salary at $47 million. And it's cool if you're the first or second player, well, more the first. But when you're the not even the third best player probably on that team at that point, and you're taking $47 million, and we got you coming off the bench, it just didn't make any types of sense. You know what I mean? If it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. And it was not in this situation. So I think Russ struggles with is accountability, reading the room, and understanding like we got to do what we got to do. Like, and we could talk about Harden, right? We could talk about what he's done to teams, but then we can look at the players who have left Russ. So we can look at all the teams that Harden has left, but then you can look at all the teams and the players that have left Russ, right? So that's the interesting part of it. But again, had they not done that, the vampire comment, then I think the rest was just like personal basketball beef on the floor, just not meshing. That vampire one, he has a beef there. He has a beef there.
Wow. So okay, listen. I did not think that came from LeBron, but you just kind of made me bat an eye over this. Now I'll say this, man. As far as Russell Westbrook goes, I do agree with you, man. I was done with Russ probably that game where he really wasn't even trying when LeBron scoring record night. It seemed like he was sabotaging that night. It felt like everything was a turnover. He was body language was off. And that's when I was like, you know what, man, I gave this guy the benefit of the doubt. It's time to move him for sure, right? And I think that's probably when LeBron checked out mentally as well. Like, bro, you went through that. I think that's partially why AD was also a little upset. I think they could all read it, and it just when he got traded, you just see such a sense of relief. And even D'Angelo came in. He's like, "Whoa, I didn't know what was going on, but we exercised some demons in that locker room." So, it's. I guess it's not fair to fully blame that on Russ because he really didn't fit the roster. But I will say the attitude just did not help him at all, right? And so we'll close that topic with that. And now we got to talk about a true unicorn. Somebody that I don't think we've ever seen a player like him. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? He's like 9'20". Victor Wembanyama.
Kristaps Porzingis?
No, that's the old unicorn. That's the old unicorn. He's on the Celtics, so ain't nobody talking about him.
No, I'm kidding. He hooping though. But
yeah, he's been hooping. The new unicorn, Victor Wembanyama, man. We got to learn his name and put some respect on him because this dude right here, man, he is. Listen, he's averaging 16.3 points per game as a rookie. Okay, playing within a system of Popovich, right? 7.5 rebounds, 2.5 blocks per game. Okay, now. The Spurs are 2-2, and I want to know, in your guys' opinion, is he living up to the hype thus far, or has he exceeded expectations or underwhelmed you? Those are the 3 options y'all have, and why. Let's start with our special guest, Nakomi. How you feeling about Victor Wembanyama?
Is he living up to expectations? I would probably say realistic expectations, yes. He's living up to realistic expectations. He's a rookie playing against grown men. He needs to put at least another probably 25, even though it might slow him down a bit. He still needs to add some pounds on him. Even KD added pounds coming out of college, so it could be done. But I think that everybody is expecting for him to have this huge LeBron James type effect on the entire team, and I think that's unfair. Because Bron is different. He basically touches the ball. He's a freight train who basically handles the ball, just like how the effect that Magic Johnson had on the Lakers when he got there. Of course, he could obviously directly affect the team. He's I don't even know is he a small forward? Is that what he plays on the team?
He's a big man, but a modern day big man. The space, your floor,
exactly.
you know.
So he has to wait for someone to get him the ball for him to do things. And I mean, what did you say? He's averaging 16.
He's averaging. It's let me see here. I have the exact stats. I don't want to butcher them.
I was trying to find it.
16.3 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks a game.
I think that's a good rookie season. In fact, especially with the fact that he's bringing it up with blocks too, so he's affecting defensively. You know, he's getting some rebounds. He's doing his job. I mean, he can't build out a team by himself. So, you know, in due time, they're going to take their time with him, and that's why Popovich was the perfect team to place him on, not specifically draft him. They placed him on. You know, so personally, I feel like, hey, they're just going to take their time with him and get him to be into the right place. And when, you know, all the other old guards have gone on to retire, I feel like he's going to be right in the right place at the right time to, you know, try to take that mantle.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. He's been impressive to me. Now I'll let Jeff go before I get off, but he's impressed me. I think I was expecting a little less, to be honest with you. But especially because he's on San Antonio, right? Yeah, I've been thoroughly impressed. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, he's impressed me considering he's been pretty much probably the most hyped prospect we've ever seen. Bron would have been. It was the social media area in 2003 isn't obviously what it is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bron would have broke everything, but I also don't think Bron was the biggest prospect ever either. So it's like it's Magic Johnson was. So
that's true. That is true.
Yeah. So and it's not a shade on any of them. I mean, come on, like Bron is great, fantastic. But for people to call Wemby like a bigger prospect than Bron, I definitely don't agree with that. But the hype, because Bron's hype was ridiculous for no social media. Ridiculous. Well, we probably will never see anything like that again. So, but as far as just the global hype, also a foreigner. So it's like there's so many different levels to it here. So, like Nakomi said, I think he's having a great rookie season. So my thing is I'm probably just basically proud of the kid because he's had more pressure. People were talking about he was going to be the best defensive player within 2 years. He's going to be the best player in the world within 3 years. He's going to lead them to 5 to 6 championships before the guy even came to the U.S. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's not his fault, right? That's not his fault. You know what I mean? So he didn't say I'm going to go out here and average 30. He didn't say any of this. I figured if Wemby averaged 18 and 10 in his first year, that would be one hell of a rookie season for the kid to come in here playing against grown men who are going to be coming for him. Right. You got people like, Dylan the Villain Brooks out there saying he's not even all that. He's just tall. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that guy's IQ is very questionable, man.
But it's just the little things with him. That possession and that putback against Phoenix, like in his first game when he was kind of taken out of the game because of all the fouls, but then coming in and in the moment hitting big shots in his first game, in the United States, first real game in the United States, at a professional level. So to me, as crazy as it sounds, because I know people expected him to get 30 and 20, I think he's exceeded expectations because he's going out there and just being him, right? Mm-hmm. He's letting it come to him. He's not going out there jacking up 35 shots a game, 40 shots a game. He's not out there. He's playing within his system. He's not acting like, hey, because I'm here, I'm the stud, guys. I'm the best guy out here. Give me the ball and get out the way. He's playing a role a la Tim Duncan. And if you're the Spurs, that's exactly what you want to see. Because to be real, they're not even featuring him. They're really not even featuring him.
Decoy, right? We talked about this. They're decoying him. Yep.
So players like who is it? The
3-point shooter kid.
Is that Robinson?
Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson. Like players like that. It's really smart because Wemby's like, now these guys, Wemby's going to be like, these guys are going to respect me because I'm going to come out here. I'm going to put in my work. I'm going to put in my time. I'm going to pay my dues. I'm going to let them get their buckets. I'm here if you need me, and I'm going to grind. That's how he's going to make it in this league and how his teammates are going to be pulling for him and rooting for him. But I think he's exceeded my expectations from the standpoint of he had all the pressure in the world on him. And he's coming out and he's just playing his game and he's fitting in. And I'm more impressed with the fitting in part than anything else when it comes
to the Spurs are molding this kid, like you said, just like Tim Duncan. Go ahead, Mies. Before I get off, I got a lot to say about Wemby. Go ahead, Mies.
He's definitely so far early on exceeded my expectations. I thought he would struggle with the size of the grown men, but watching him, he's been maturing per game and knowing how to maneuver and take advantage of his size. Like most big men kind of struggle for a while to figure that out, how to counter these dudes. He's not even blinking. He's no, I can move around these dudes. I can pull up from the 3. They can't stop me from here. I can jump up over them. They can't stop me from here. And where you're seeing his impact really on the defensive end with almost 3 blocks a game, he's like, he can control the game defensively and get them offensive rebounds. And one other thing I'm loving to see is his recovery. When he challenges you and you do the step back, he's coming to get that block. That's hard to do. The recovery blocks, man. He's definitely exceeded my expectations, but I don't think he would have ever put up what he could have, say, if he was on OKC or something like that, because he's under Pop and under that system. That they're not going to allow him to just come out, 30 attempts, come out like Iverson and really, really flex, like some of us may enjoy seeing. But because of that, he's in that structured system. He's exactly where he needs to be and where his numbers are going to be under Pop, because Pop is going to rein him in. Whether we like it or not, he's going to rein him in. And no, move that ball. And again, the basketball purist in me want to see him just let the bullets off. But, this is Pop. So, no, he's definitely exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, well, you know what? I agree. Means he's definitely exceeded my expectations to the point where I usually don't have a third favorite team. It's Lakers, it's Knicks, and I never thought I'd say this, but the Spurs are now my third favorite team to watch because of Wemby, fam. I think he's about to be a top 5 player in this league at some point. I just see too many flashes of greatness in him early on, where I'm like, I see things I ain't never seen before, like that reverse dunk, off the baseline. Like Nakomi said, he's playing like a small forward dude is 7'20". Ain't no way he should be moving like that. We ain't never seen a player like him. But you're right. The biggest thing is this is exactly what Pop did to Kawhi. And Kawhi, he got his revenge because he learned everything he needed from the Spurs and he moved on. And that's exactly what I think Wemby's going to do. Because I think he will.
But they botched it with Kawhi, though. The medical staff botched it more than the system did.
No, but I'll tell you. I remember talking to a Spurs fan way back in the day, and he told me, I'm scared that Kawhi's getting so good he's going to leave because the Spurs system doesn't allow you to grow like that. It didn't allow Manu Ginobili to grow like that. It doesn't allow you to look. Tim Duncan, as generational as he was, can you imagine? Now, there's a chance he wouldn't develop to be that great under a different coach, but still, can you imagine if he had the green light elsewhere? He would have been putting out astronomical numbers, as efficient as he was. But I'll say this. I do believe Wemby will eventually be on a bigger market. Watch out, Knicks. Watch out, Lakers. Watch out any of these teams. And,
we the home of the big man. Come on, Wemby.
But I believe he'll learn everything he needs to from the Spurs. He might even win a chip or 2 there. That's how highly I think of him and how highly I think of Pop.
I was about to say that right now. Like, how many chips did Manu get? You know what I mean? So it's like I think there's certain guys, especially the Euro guys. We got to understand the Euro guys value that team continuity and the winning more than a lot of the US based prospects that come up. I agree with you. I think there's a chance because of his global appeal and what he can draw. And it's not like about being loyal to the Spurs. They won a lottery for him. They didn't pick him 45th and like this and that, right? So I think with him, Manu was a 2nd round pick. Like I think you're onto something there. I think there is a chance, and he may be. And this is crazy because I don't know if this would happen or not. No one ever turns down that first big deal because it's their first big bag. But this guy's going to make so much money before his first big extension that he could potentially be the first to not take the first big bag, which has never happened.
I'm waiting for somebody to do it.
I think Wemby's going to be the one who leaves because I just feel like he's too big for that market, man. San Antonio can't hold it. If San Antonio could have held in Kawhi, we're not talking about that. This is the modern day era where, dude, these guys are getting crazy self promo from social media. These guys are getting so many endorsement deals nowadays. Kawhi, once he figured that out, he outgrew San Antonio. And I do believe Giannis, there was a chance that he was going to leave the Bucks because of their market. However, they made a chess move in acquiring obviously Damian Lillard, and that's why he was able to sign that 3-year extension, which by the way still shocks me. But
to me, me too.
Right?
That was not a smart extension.
I wouldn't have did it.
It was not a smart extension. Sorry, my bad, Dan.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree.
That shocked me. I would have lost several bets on that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because it made no sense.
People saying Euro guys are loyal as fuck. Listen, I'll tell you this. They might have been back in the early 2000s, but Luka's leaving Dallas too. I'll tell you that right now. All right, if Luka can get the bag in New York or LA or some big market, or even God, I hate to say, but Boston or something like that, he's gonna leave because Dallas can't hold his jockstrap right now. I'm telling you, like Mark Cuban can only do so much to entice these guys. I believe the era of loyalty is gone, fam. The only way they're gonna be loyal is if they're just raining parades, just like the Golden State Warriors, right? That's the reason they're able to keep somebody like.
Yeah, Euros like to win. So they are loyal, but you have to win. So the Mavs situation is not like the Spurs situation, whereas I don't think the Mavs are they're not going to win. I don't. Yeah. I mean, Luka is great, and he's having a monster start to this year, and they're 4-0.
And I'll ask you guys this, this will lead me into the next question, which was my next point. I wanted to ask you guys. Who should be the Lakers' next target after LeBron James? That's the one I've been wanting to ask for a long time. We got all these future coming, a plethora of up-and-coming superstars. You got your Lucas of the world. You got your Jason Tatums of the world. You know what I'm saying? Then you got your B, tier stars and then C tier. Who are you guys targeting? Anybody can chime in here.
Let me ask you: Are you saying who should or who's realistic? Because who should?
I'm saying who should. Who do you think the Lakers should target in your mind?
I mean, if possible, that's Luka all day. That's Luka all day.
Yeah. It's yeah.
He belongs.
Everyone else like Embiid's older. Yeah, Embiid's older. Like.
So would you guys take Luka over Jason Tatum?
I would. Oh, absolutely, I would.
Well, yeah. There's there's a couple of things. I would say yes. I would say yes. But if it was like you're not losing either way. You know what I mean? You're not losing either way. But Luka is an absolute problem. My only thing with Luka is can his style of play win a championship with all that dribbling? So that would be my only concern. Would he get buckets here? Would he average 30 here? Absolutely. But is he more hardened than LeBron when it comes to his style of play?
I'll tell you this about Luka. I've always felt like he's missing an elite big man in order to really contend for a title. You get him an elite big man. If Anthony Davis still in his prime, watch out. That's all I'm gonna say.
We better hope he don't end up a Joker. That's
what I always thought would be the coldest tandem in the league.
Yeah,
I always thought
better not hope that because if he gets frisky there in Dallas, and they're like, and it's like Denver's like, well, we'll give you Murray for him. Oh man, like and Murray and then pieces. Like he better not end up in Denver because if he does, then we just need to go on a long vacation.
I think the only way he ends up in LA with the Lakers is if he's an unrestricted free agent. Ain't no way in hell Mark.
Yeah, he's not trading. He's not trading.
Right. So
I think Mark Cuban is. I don't know if he traded him at all. I think he'd roll the dice. I think he can convince him. He may have to. I think Mark Cuban would be more worried about public crucifixion of actually trading Luka than actually letting him walk. So Mark Cuban is a weird dude, man. He's one like it's hard when you step to these billionaires and try to play chess with them. You know what I mean? It's just they're petty as hell. But Luka. I mean, just if you just look at the 2026 potential free agent list, it's retarded.
And what do we have around that time?
We're tons of money. So it's like, I mean, just look if none of these guys extend, and a lot of these guys will, I'm sure, like De'Aaron Fox, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo, Rudy, Jimmy, Duncan. Well, it goes on. There's other guys that got options. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like there is a ton of these guys. If they don't extend, like if something doesn't go right in Boston and they're killing right now, something doesn't go right in Boston and Tatum does not sign that extension this summer, then it's going to get crazy.
Absolutely, man. And you know what's nuts is that, like you said, the free agency coming up in 2026, you see all the attention we get for games like yesterday, nationally televised games. These people are going to want to, just scour over here. It's going to be crazy. I'm sure my face froze right now that I'm talking, but I can still hear you guys. We can hear you. But yeah, it's insane to think who the next star is going to be. I know it's early to have this conversation, but I like to have fun on this show. So Nakomi, who do you think the Lakers should target? After LeBron is done?
Honestly, I kind of feel like what we have been missing for a while is the inside-outside punch that we had when we had Shaq and Kobe. Yes. That's why I would have, even though I didn't want the price and I didn't want the problems, if I could get Kyrie without all that other foolishness right now, that would have been great. But we're talking about down the road. So with that being said, I wouldn't mind Tatum just to basically kind of right the wrongs, even though I loved Lonzo and I thought Lonzo was going to be great. I wouldn't mind Tatum, but I say go ahead after that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Ooh, that's the name I was thinking.
I mean,
yes.
I feel like he's going to be young for a while. He'll be able to, outlive AD's contract and wait till the next dude comes, the next big man on the inside comes in. He could play with a lot of different people. He could put the ball up all the way around. I feel like he's far more consistent than even though Dame is a killer, I feel like he's more consistent than Dame right now, personally. And I feel like that. I think that that would be a good target for us, basically, if we can't like break the system and break the mold and have like Wemby decide to be like, you know what, I'm good on that rookie extension and just test the market. And I agree with you, Jeff, that it's not even just Euro people. These kids nowadays are completely different. None of them want to be tied down to one specific spot. They want flexibility, and I think that Bron showed them the blueprint. And so I feel like they keep on going after the money, but they don't realize that they'll still make the money. They'll make that money. You don't have to make all the big money, and now you're tied to Sacramento. You know what I mean? I would love it if De'Aaron Fox came out, but at the same time, I feel like he probably got a little, the Kool-Aid got a little spoiled, and he probably gonna be looking at the Lakers with a side eye. So it is what it is. I think Tatum might be the same way, but you never know.
But the guys that passed on them is no longer there. Magic's not there no more. So
True.
It could be very it could be,
and that could exactly be the pitch.
Wrong.
That could be the pitch. It's like, listen, if I was here, I would have drafted you. I've always been a fan of yours. Let's go out here and let's right the wrong. So that could definitely be a sales pitch right there.
But I definitely want to see if one of these guys ever, not coming like you said, I want to see one of these guys punt on that first big offer.
I just want to see one do it.
I want to see one do it, because as soon as one does it and it works, the NBA is going to be like, holy shit. Like,
damn it, they figured it out.
Because no one has done it. No one has done it because they're so scared to turn down that first big bag and get hurt. But Wemby could be the first because he's so globally and he's going to have so much money prior to this. And so that's one thing to keep an eye on, because no one turns down that first bag. No one.
Agreed. That would be interesting to see. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. So I'm not sure how the whole, the cap works, but you mentioned the 2026 free agent class. Is there a potential where the Lakers could be in a situation where LeBron's like, I want to stay, and they have to decide between that and one of these stars?
No, because I'm telling you right now, they gave LeBron that Kobe deal, that 2-year extension, with more than likely the understanding that this is the last max deal you're getting from us. If you want to play, cool. If you want to play, we'll have you, and we will pay you. We're not going to give you the minimum. Maybe like something like the $10 million range. But I'm telling you, like, the Lakers are not going to give LeBron another like $50 million deal. So
unless he wins a couple of chips back to back,
they're still not. Yeah,
you don't think
like
so?
That would be team malpractice.
Yeah,
that would be team malpractice.
No way they can do that.
I think LeBron could be the first player that makes 50 mil at 40. I just do. I'm sorry, but if he's putting up the productivity,
I would be. I can't say with any type of certainty. I would just be shocked by it. I'll just say that. There's and I think that's kind of the reason. Like, I think this is all mapped out. I think the Lakers are pretty much in sync. I think AD signed this contract knowing, okay, another year. I do think LeBron will be here next year. I don't think he opts out of a $50 million deal this summer. I just don't see it. As much money as that man has made, anyone opting out of $50 million to leave LA again, where your family is settled, to get less money, I don't see it happening. He either retires or opts in and stays with the Lakers.
The only thing is that would be kind of hypocritical for LeBron. Has practiced his whole career, which is maximizing the athlete and getting absolute value. Like he probably still feels like he is, worth every penny, which he probably will be. But I'll be shocked if he takes a 10 minute.
Yeah, people having to pay it though. No one's going to pay it.
I mean, the Lakers want to make LeBron happy. If he delivers at least one more title, anything's possible. I don't put it out of the realm of possibility. On that note, but if he took 10 million, that would be great.
I just think the reason I'm saying is because I think that's already been I think that was already pretty much agreed to. Like, we'll do everything we can to get your son. We'll do everything we can to continue to build this around. I think they're aligned in their vision. I really do think they do. I really think they're aligned in it, and that's why I'm saying.
I think that would be great. Honestly, I think that would
it'd be
be
great.
phenomenal if it happened, right? But I gotta believe it to see it, man, because I never thought I'd see LeBron take a pay cut in his career.
Well, at some point, if he's planning to play, like if we said he's going to play till 45 or 40 or 42, no, he's not going to get a max. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And it will be him maximizing it, because how many 40-year-old NBA players, making $10 million a year? It's still more than anyone ever did in history at that age. So it's like,
I agree.
And he's going to want to win. He's going to want to win. So if he's taking $50 million off the Lakers cap along with AD, and he's 40, he's not going to be able to win. So yeah.
I want him to take that pay cut. I just have to believe it.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying why I strongly believe in that.
That would be great.
I totally get what you're saying, because he has because ever since he took that less than a max in Miami, he said, I'm never taking less than that again. He said that publicly. So I get what you're saying. Right.
Yeah, but it's going to be extremely interesting to see what happens in 2026. When he's free agent, and when AD, I believe he's a free agent as well, right? So what happens then? Do we re-sign those guys? Do they move on? Do they what will happen? Very curious. But all right, I got one more question for you guys, man, before I let y'all go on your merry way, and that is D'Angelo Russell, man. I got to talk about this dude. He has been cooking. Listen, D'Lo has ice in his veins for real. I believe it. 19.7 assists, 3 rebounds, shooting 47% from the field. Now I got to ask, is it sustainable? And will he be an all-star for the second time in his career this season? Predictions now, guys. Let's start with Mees. How you feeling, bro? Is it sustainable, and will he be an all-star?
Absolutely, it's sustainable. He's a former all-star. I think he's coming into his own. He's always one that's going to take his time and let the game slow down. Now that there aren't those other 2 point guards playing next to him, he's able to have the ball and dictate the action a lot more. And he's going to settle down. I think he's going to go up a little bit higher. Do I think he's going to make the all-star team? I think it's a little bit too deep in the West for him to slide in at the all-star spot. So I think he may be left off the team, but he's going to be our all-star, which is all that's going to matter. So, you know what I mean? I think he's going to creep up. He's going to creep up to about 2021, in my opinion, before the all-star break. I think he's going to hit his stride. We're going to get Vando coming back, and we have yet to see the best of D'Lo.
Wow, okay. I like that. All right, Nakomi, how you feeling about Ice? Mr. Ice.
I really loved him back when we even drafted him. I thought that he was a cold-blooded shooter. I really am glad that we got to have a second time around with him, especially, that post-Kobe group. We really took those babies underneath our wing, and I'm calling them babies because I'm old like that. So, but at the same time, you know what I mean? I'm so glad to have him back, and I feel like it's at the right time for him mentally, and also physically, because he's mature. I feel like he's in his prime. I don't know if I go as far as saying an all-star. I think there's a lot of firepower on that team, so I'm not exactly sure if he's going to shine that bright, but he'll be our all-star, like we said, basically, because I think that what he brings to the table, like I said earlier, is far more than just basketball. I feel like the time is right. I think that the stars are aligned for him to be a great contributor in more ways than one on that team, and I feel like it's going to be great. I feel like he's being aggressive. He showed that from preseason. Him and AD came in with, I think that they came in with a mindset of being aggressive. And I think that that's what they need, because they need to take some of the attention away from Reeves and Braun. Also, people need to basically stay on their toes when it comes to our team. So I think that that D'Lo has definitely taken that challenge upon himself. And I think he's going to have a great season. I feel like sky's the limit when he gets hot, and I feel like he is the great ambassador that he is, because he doesn't take it personally when he realizes that he don't got it going. Mm-hmm. He'll go to the bench, and he'll be the loudest cheerleader on the bench, and that's what I feel like. What's so great about D'Lo this year. Not saying that he wasn't that before. He had some growing up to do, as we all do when we're 19 years old, coming out of college, and you got 20 million in the bank now. I mean, of course, you basically gonna make some mistakes. I mean, there's a lot of 30-year-olds that make those same kind of mistakes, dry snitching on their peoples. You know what I mean? But he grew up over time. He had to take a little spin around the block. Detour. You know what I'm saying? Basically, and came back. And I'm glad that we're taking a second shake at him. And I feel like it's gonna work out. I really hope that we don't end up having to trade him. I don't know who's out there who's going to be worth picking up mid-season and messing up the chemistry for, but it better be good if we decide to do that, because I think that this is a year that D'Lo would really, cement himself with Laker hearts and minds.
Yes,
I heard Russell Westbrook gonna be available, man. We might want to kick the tires on that, man.
Don't even say that as a joke, man. He might show up at night.
I mean, to put it at ease, to not get people to get people not freaking out. We couldn't even get Russ even if we wanted to.
It's not Halloween no more. You can't scare me like that.
We're not eligible to sign him. So not even if Pelinka was drunk, could it happen? So we're good.
And I'll say this to add to Nakomi's point. I'm so glad we got D'Lo as well. Like, think about the contrast from one Russell to the other. The one couldn't shoot, one can. One, played with tunnel vision at times. The other one is open-minded, high court vision, and very mature for his age. And he said it himself, I think, during the what is it? The intros. What do they call them? The presser, right? The media day. During media day, he said he's barely entering his prime. And to be honest, this is exactly what it looks like. He's kind of calling it out himself. It's almost like he felt like he had made improvements this offseason, and he's about to show them out. Defensively, somebody mentioned defensively. He's been a lot better defensively. I know sometimes he still gets caught in the screens. He doesn't make that extra effort, Sometimes it looks like he has sluggish feet, but he has active hands. He's playing the passing lanes extremely well. He's helping rebound a lot better, and he's contesting more shots than I've seen in his entire career early on in the season. So hopefully that continues, and we can build on that. And just D'Angelo Russell is a very skilled player. He always has been since we drafted him. To Nakomi's point, he's always shown flashes of brilliance, and he'll continue to do that for us. And hopefully he does it efficiently, because that's all we ask. He's averaging 19 right now. That could go upwards a little bit. So I'm excited for his season this year, and let's hope he can keep building on it. Jeff, do you think he'll be an all-star this year?
No, I don't think he'll be an all-star, but I think his play will continue. I think there's just too many good players in the West, and like him being the third or fourth best player on this team, that's probably not going to happen. But I think he could have a very good year, to the point where he opts out and gets re-signed again to maybe a longer deal. If he keeps this up, I'm with Nakomi. I hope they do keep him. I hope they don't trade him. I hope he plays well enough. I believe they want to keep him. I believe they would like him to be around for a long time, but he's got to make it work. He's got to be productive. He's got to be consistent. And if he is, then I don't see why the marriage couldn't continue. Austin loves him. They're a great tandem. They have each other's backs. They speak up highly for each other. And I think it was Mies that said, like, creeping up, he'll be up to that 20, 21 points per game. I think that's the sweet spot for him. I think, if Austin is in the 13 to 15 and D'Lo is in the 19 to 21 range, we're a better team that way, because Austin does other things, and his assists have been great. I think he's at 7 assists a game right now. People aren't talking about that. And I did see someone talk about, the defense. He's deflecting way more passes than he ever has in his career. He's making the effort. He will frustrate you with time. Like last night, me and D'Lo were like, what is D'Lo doing? Me and Dan were like, what is D'Lo doing here? But maybe he does make up for it in the offensive end. We don't win that game last night without him. We don't get to where we got last year without him. And I hope that we get to say, in the near future, that we wouldn't have won a championship without him. So I'm hoping that he stays, and I'm hoping he continues to develop. I don't think he will be an all-star, but it's not a knock on him. I just think that the West is too deep, and his role on this team is not where he's probably going to be all-star capable.
Oh, okay. For sure. That's very respectable and very understandable. I agree with you, Jeff. Mies, talk to him about D'Lo. Does he still have room for improvement? What do you think his ceiling will be?
I mean, champion. I think he gonna win it all this year. Like you say, his maturity, his growth. He's showing such a command on the floor, being able to get to where he want to get to. He knows when to hit those kill shots. That's one major thing that we haven't had in a long time, is somebody that knows when to hit those kill shots. When they hit those shots that changes momentum, those shots where you can just go to the crowd and call game. We haven't had one of those for a while, man. But yeah, like I said, I don't think it's going to be enough room for him to make the all-star team with the talent and the depth that's in the West. But yeah, he will be our all-star, and I do see him around 20, 21.5 finishing the season. And now with no Dennis Schroeder taking a rock, he's going to be able to showcase himself in the playoffs and act a fool this year. I think it's going to be on.
You know what? Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the bottom line. We shouldn't so much focus on stats this year. We should focus on the ultimate goal, which is that championship. If they gel at the right time, anything is possible, man. So very excited for this team, guys. It's gonna be a fun ride. I want to thank our very special guest Nakomi for coming up here and listen. She getting a lot of love.
Great
She
job.
getting a lot of
You
love,
fucking
rightfully
killed it.
so.
Great job.
She
Great
getting a
job.
lot of love, rightfully so, from the chat. So I'm gonna let her, shout her platforms out and give her final words before I let you guys as well. Go ahead, Nakomi.
Man, Dan, I really appreciate it, man. I've been a fan of yours for several years now. Just coming
Appreciate
in
it.
for this to hear great Laker content and just feel the vibe, because I feel like the vibe in your house as far as your channel is it matches my vibe after a game. So I really appreciate the fact that we finally that I got a chance to be on it on your channel. So
Oh, you'll
thank
be
you
back.
guys.
You'll be back.
Appreciate you, Empire. Me's for the chat. We had a great I feel like we had a great conversation. I have a channel of my own, Call Me Nakomi World. It's on YouTube here. I go live after Laker games when I get a chance. I'm not trying to ruin my marriage. So
It's tough.
it's tough. It's very tough, especially with football and basketball season going on right now.
Right,
So
right.
I also I have some separate channels for basketball and football. Lakers and the Other 29 is my basketball channel, and Call Me a Sports Fan is my general sports channel. But right now, since I have the most traction at my Call Me Nakomi World channel, I'm doing live right there for right now until I get some more subscribers on the other ones. So please go ahead and subscribe to all three if you get a chance to. Call Me Nakomi World, Lakers and the Other 29, and Call Me a Sports Fan. You can find all those on my channel. So thank you so much. And you can follow me at Call Me Nakomi on your Instagram. Appreciate you, Dan.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. And by the way, go subscribe to her, guys. You need to shoot me those links. I'm gonna subscribe to all of them. I'm gonna tap in myself.
I'm on it.
Thank you,
You
guys.
absolutely
Thank
killed
you.
it. We love
Appreciate
the vibes, the energy. You'll be back if you do have time to join us. We'd love to have you back sometime.
Absolutely. You can have my spot whenever you need it. You're incredible. Great job. Great job.
Yeah,
Thank you
And
very
shout
much.
out to Chris. Shout out to Chris for always
Graphic
lending
guy.
us his spot, man. We wouldn't have these opportunities if he didn't lend us a spot. So thank you again, Chris. He was in here showing love and support. So shout out to Chris. Go ahead, Jeff. Anything you want to shout out, my brother?
No, just another great episode. You can find me over at what is it? Nakomi World. Call Me Nakomi World. And it's all about her tonight. I'm gonna plug that. So definitely about her show. Go check her out. Incredible. Like, I just love talking basketball. So when you get some of your capabilities, like to come up here and talk hoop, it just makes me better as a sports person. Talking basketball, it makes the channel better. And Dan is an incredible talent scout. So at the end of the day, like, you blessed us with your presence. You were incredible today. It's all about you. So Call Me Nakomi World, Lakers the Other 29, and what's the third one?
Call Me a Sports Fan.
Call Me a Sports Fan.
Call Me a Sports Fan.
So if you go to Empire
Mm-hmm.
Jeff TV, I'm just going to point all my shit over there today. So just go there to call those other three spots over there. Incredible content. I will definitely be subscribing to all three twice. And y'all do the same. Make sure. Fireworks today. Incredible.
Awesome.
Bless you,
Appreciate the
guys.
love
Bless
right
you.
there.
Bless
And
you.
you know what? I'm thank you for giving my flowers, Jeff. I'm definitely the Jerry West of this bitch. I'll be discovering all kinds of amazing YouTubers, man. I feel like we just discovered our own Kobe Bryant right here with Nakomi, man. She came through as a rookie of the year. Look at her, man. All right, but yeah, definitely show love to her channel, fam. And she will be back. We promise. It's all about just lining up schedules and stuff. But Mees, what do you got to shout out here, man?
Man, first of all, y'all know who I be. Y'all know where I'm at. But salute to my bros, man. It's been a blessing. It was another great show. But as my man Jeff say, man, it's about Nakomi, man. Send them subscribes over. I'm subscribing to all channels. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't pull these out for any old body. But you know you get the flex from me. Come on, man. You know you get the flex from me.
I got the gun show. I got the gun show out here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I don't bring them out all willy-nilly, but you know you get them. So salute to you. You've been absolutely awesome. It's a blessing. I could talk hoop with you all day to the end. So salute. Hit that subscribe button because I know I'm about to.
Thank you so much.
That's what it's all about.
Searching this and destroy it. Thank you very much for finding those. I'm trying to look and trying to find the other ones to put it up, but
he's on it. He's the best moderator in the game. Trust me. Before you thought it, he's already got it in the chat.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
He's
you.
the best.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And check out all of these people, man. Listen, they're all phenomenal. They're on here for a reason because they are great. We only bring around the best of the best. And from the first time Nakomi called in, I knew I was like, have you taught somewhere before? Because you are listen, you are teaching a lot of basketball right now. And she just her basketball knowledge is off the chain. So definitely was a fan
Incredible.
from day one. And I'm honored that you've been watching for years. So thank you, Nakomi, for that and the support. And now it's your turn. It's your turn to shine. So everybody go subscribe to Me's the GM, Empire Jeff TV, and Call Me Nakomi on YouTube, fam. Show love to everybody. Also want to plug something else in because for 48 hours, yes, this is the third time we're going to show it on the screen. Yep,
Hit that one time,
gang,
Jeff.
baby.
Hold on, let me get
Hey. So check it out, man. These are available for the next 48 hours. Free shipping, fam. Check this. We already sold a couple, man. So they're gonna fly off the shelves. Make sure they get yours for the next 48 hours. And again, in celebration of the great LeBron James, man. You guys see what it is, man. He's a 21 Savage. So let's get it. Appreciate you all, man. It was an absolute pleasure to share the panel. And we miss you, Chris. Hope to have you back soon. And see you guys next week on Around the League. All right. Peace.
Thank you. Peace, guys.
Peace, Portland.